Hey y'all. So look, this is a little impromptu live that I'm gonna try to do while my son is napping. Let's hope that he don't wake up before I get done. Um, I've been trying to do this live for a while, for a good little while. But it's like if y'all didn't know I had a baby at 42 years old, why did I have a baby at 42 years old? Anyway, that's not what we're talking about today. Today, we are going to talk about budgeting in my creative business. One of the things that I am focused on for this new year is getting my budget together. And so, yeah, so we're just going to talk about how I budget for the new year. Happy New Year, Angela, and thank you for joining. Like, I don't expect for a whole lot of people to be here because, like, this is the first time I'm doing the live here on YouTube, and we'll see what happens. Like, it'll be available for the replay. So for those of you who are new here or watching this on the replay and you don't know who I am, my name is Yolanda. I am the designer behind My Pretty Brown Doll, and also I also run My Crochet Life, which is where I talk about how I run my crochet business full time, because I am fortunate enough to still have this as my main source of income. I can't believe it. Like, with the whole pandemic and everything, and having a baby at 42, and all the rest of life just happening, she is still able to allow my crochet business to be my main source of income. And so, super grateful and thankful for that. And I know that I would not be able to say that or even be able to do this if it was not for the support of you, and you. Even if you knew, thank you, thank you, thank you. So anyway, Happy New Year. Oh, you talking to Anika. Hey, Anika, I didn't even see you come in, girl. Hey, Happy New Year. Look who it is, live. Live. So, yeah, budget. That's what we're talking about. So listen, when with me talking about my budget, let me just put my disclaimers out there. I am not telling you that this is the right way to budget if you are self-employed, or if you have a creative business, even if you have it as a side hustle. I by no means am I the expert in regards to how you should budget your money. I am sharing how I budget my money for my self employed business, how I manage my income. And the reason that I am sharing it is because it may be helpful to someone else, but also to hold myself accountable. Because the reason that this is one of my focus this year is because, now I'll be completely honest, I am one of those people who I wake up every day and check my bank accounts, all of them, every day. So I know where my money is going. Like, I have a pretty good handle on where my money at, what it looked like, like, Walmart got 11-cent pending right now. Walmart, why you got 11-cent pending? Like, I'm that person. So it's not that I don't know, like, I don't know anything about my money, or it's like just sitting there and I'm not sure about it. But one of the things that I do know is that in order to have a better handle on it, in order to welcome in more money, I need to be able to know where my money is going, and I need to make sure that I'm telling my money where to go, and not just out here, doing what I want. Oh, it's in the bank account, let me just spend it. No, because truth and look, that's what I've been doing. That's just the truth. What I've been doing is, boo, I got it. She gonna spend it. Okay. She got it and she gonna spend it. That's pretty much how my budget work. Is my car gonna be declined, or is it gonna swipe? That's all I need to know. But I realized when I had my son, my second son, I was like, girl, stop playing yourself. Because first of all, this little rascal is expensive, and you don't want to be nowhere and get embarrassed because that card get declined. Okay. So I was like, you need to get a better handle on really, really focusing in on where your money is going and me telling my money where to go instead of my money telling me that you can't do this or you're not able to do this because you don't have the money. Or yes, you can do this because you do have the money. I want to be the one to say, money, go here, money, do this, all of that. So that is why my budget is my focus for 2022. So I am doing let me also put out there. So I am self-employed in my crochet business, meaning that although I do have an LLC set up, I do file my taxes as a sole proprietor. So I have an LLC, but I do not use it for tax purposes only because I just don't see the benefit right now. That may change, which is why I do have an LLC. So when my income changes, maybe it would be more beneficial for me to do my taxes as an LLC. But for me right now, me just doing them as a sole proprietor, doing my regular taxes, and then adding the Schedule C works really, really well for me. And you know what they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I do have a separate bank account. So I do have a business account and then I have a personal account. Actually, I have like two business accounts and then one personal account. And then I have other places that money go, like Cash App for other things that I do. And so I kind of have to manage all of those things as well. But when it comes to how I pay myself in my business, because I also the way I do my business, because some people will say, oh, if you have a small business, some of the experts will say that you're supposed to like just keep reinvesting the money, reinvesting the money, reinvesting the money. I'm not one of those people. Even when I worked a regular 9 to 5 job, I've always been pay me first. And that is how I operate with my self-employed business as well. She get paid first, because I have never been one of those people who simply works, whether I'm working for somebody else or working for myself, to pay bills. I work so that I can pay my bills because yes, bills need to be paid, but I also work so that I can enjoy some of the things that I enjoy doing. And so she always, always, always going to be paid first. And so now, with that being said, I do not have a set payday because some of the experts will also say, oh, well, like they have a set day that they pay themselves and they pay themselves a certain amount of money every time they pay themselves. She not one of those people either. So how I do mine currently is I know how much money I need every month to like pay my personal bills and my business expenses, but I break it down by the week. And so I look at the week and I look at what's coming out because most of my bills are set up on like some type of automatic payment. So it just automatically comes out. If it's a business expense, it's going to automatically come out the business expense account. And then if it is a personal expense, I move the money normally like on a Friday or and again, it's no set day because I move the money closer to the date that whatever bill is due. One of the things that I am trying to do in 2022 is move the money one time. So instead of having to move money like on a Monday, then move it again on a Wednesday, then move it again on a Thursday, I am trying to move one set amount of money at one time. So I guess I am kind of trying to move towards the pay myself, but I'll be paying myself every week because again, I look at what my expenses are for the week, I kind of add them up, and then I move that set of money for the week into my personal account. And then but see, here's the thing, because like yesterday, hey Patricia, thank you for joining. Like yesterday, I was in Michael's. I went to Michael's for one thing, but then they was having like this clearance event and they had a whole bunch of stuff on clearance. And so I ended up picking up a whole bunch of other stuff other than the one thing that I went in there for. And so what ended up happening is I ended up having to move some money because I it wasn't business stuff, it was just stuff for me. Like some of it was business, but the majority of it was stuff for me. So I ended up having to move that money from my business account to my personal account so that I could pay for that stuff. So that's kind of sort of how I do it every week. Now, I did pick up this little budget planner. I found this in Walmart. It was like $2, right? And it's a night. I like it. The reason I picked it up is because I kind of liked how it was broken up, but mainly what I really liked about it was that it had this little spending thing where you could track your money, your spending summary, right? Y'all. So they give you 2 pages for the month. These 2 pages is supposed to be for the whole month. Y'all, this was the first week in January. The first week in January. If you ever want to get your budget together, boo, write down everywhere you spend money. Every time you spend money. And this was even if it came out electronically, whether I spent cash, because I also do a modified cash envelope system because clearly I'm not completely cash based. Like I said, a lot of my bills come out electronically, but there are some things where I need to really get a handle on, like eating out. And so I have like a cash envelope for that. Uh, I have a cash envelope for my son because again, that's an expensive little boy, but also just kind of control my impulse buying. So it's like if I'm spending cash, then it kind of helps me control that. But again, this is for 1 week in January, the first week in January. And I'm just like, boo, she got like what, 5 lines left, 6 lines left. I ain't gonna make it the whole month. Like I'm gonna have to add some paper for the month. Now, what this did do though, ask me how much money she done spent this week. Because when I saw this, like when I had to like really look at this and like really pay attention to, oh my gosh, this is where my money is going, it made me be like, boo, no, you don't need that. Now, I didn't have no control in Michael's yesterday, but in other places, like I have not been to Starbucks this week. I have not been to Dunkin' Donuts this week. And I normally either go to one or, one or sometimes both of those places like once a day. So I'm super proud of myself for that. I know it's only Tuesday and but my budget starts, so it runs from Saturday to Friday. So, from Saturday to Friday. So that's good for me. We're 4 days in and I ain't been to Starbucks or to Dunkin' Donuts this week. So yeah, so I'm using this to kind of track so I can really see where my money is going, because in order for me to be able to tell my money where to go, I have to see where it is going. And so I'm gonna track for the entire month. I may keep doing it though, because like I said, it is helping me. But for right now, I am going to track for the entire month where my money is going. The little ones that are like highlighted, those are ones where money actually came in. So little highlights of I got some extra money from somewhere. So that's what this little book is used for. I also use the calendar in this book. I do like the calendar as well because, like I said, because I can see what's coming out each week, and because I'm adding those things up, it helps me to see, okay, what amount of money do I need to move and where do I need to move it to in order for bills to be paid. So that I use the front calendar, and then I use like I said, the little spending summary in there. I do also have so for my monthly budget, I'm using like just the little happy planner insert for my monthly budget where I can see for the month. Now the thing about it is, like I said, I'm self-employed, running my creative business. And so I don't know how much money I'm going to make per month. So they are guesstimates. Now I have a good idea, because I have been pretty sort of kind of consistent. Now the pandemic did change some things because, honey, she went from 10K months to not 10K months. Let's just say that. So, she was, really in here like, okay, this is what this is going to look like. And then it was like, no, boo, this is not what it's going to look like. I will also say I have not been doing the work to have 10K months. And I take full responsibility for that because I'm just like, boo, listen, she didn't want to. That's just the truth. I didn't want to do the work. I was tired and big and pregnant and didn't want to do it. So I was okay with not having 10K months because that's not what I wanted to do. I didn't want to do the work for 10K months. But now that Jordan is here, and uh yeah, controlling my whole world, we're gonna see if we can get back to close to 10K months. I don't know, because he kind of like, boo, what you doing? Like I said, I'm praying that he don't wake up before I get finished with this. But if he do, y'all might get to meet him, because I'll go get him, and y'all might get to meet him. But hopefully he'll stay asleep. So yeah, so I'm just using a little happy planner insert for my to do my monthly budget, and keep track of the month that way. For my envelope system, so I do have two binders for the envelopes. This is my purse envelope. So this is the one that has the eaten out envelope, Jordan's envelope, thing, just my personal care envelope. So all of those envelopes are in there, in this one. And then this is my stay in the house envelope binder. And this one has like think where I don't need the money every day. So it like has my emergency fund envelope, my actually, and I do also have a rent envelope in here. Now people are probably like, well, why do you have a rent envelope? Because your rent doesn't change, like it's the same amount every month. The reason I have a rent envelope is two. So I recently moved into an apartment, y'all. That's a whole nother story. But recently moved into this apartment. Hey, LaShonda, and they do not accept checks. They only take money orders. And here in North Carolina, you have to buy your money order with cash. So for me, it is easier for me, and this is how I do quite a few of like my larger bills. Like if it's more than $100, then I most likely do it this way. I put aside money for that either every week or every 2 weeks, because for me it is easier for me to break it down and take out a smaller amount of money each week versus having to go in and take out a huge chunk of money on like the first or the second of the month. So if my rent is like $700, it's like in my mind, see, this is just a mental thing. In my mind, it's like, boo, we got to get them $700 like right now, versus taking out $200 every week and setting it aside. And then by the end of the month or by the beginning of the month, I have the full amount of my rent. Does that make sense? Because that's just how my mind works. I do the same thing with like my electric bill. Like I set aside money every week for that, so that when it's due, it's not like I'm having to find this huge chunk of money at one time. And so that's what's in this. Like, and I know that doesn't work for everybody, because some people is probably like, no, I would rather just, like it's not like I'm going to pay them in installments, but in my mind, it's like installments for me, because it's just like, well, it's easier for me to come up with $200 every week versus $700 at one time. Make sense? No? That makes sense. So yeah, that's how I do that. And so that's why I have an envelope for that. I also have an envelope for my emergency fund, because I need to build my emergency fund back up. That is one of my biggest focus right now, is building back up my emergency fund. I always start my emergency fund with $1,000, and then we go from there. Because yeah, it's like life happens, and I realized that over the last 2 years, life be happening, and it is really nice to be able to go and just get the money and be okay and not feel stressed out about it. And so one of the envelopes inside of this is my emergency fund. I also have an envelope for vacations, because I like to take vacations. Boo, that's what I like to travel. That's what I like to do. She gonna travel. That's what she gonna do. And so I do have an envelope for traveling. I also have an envelope because I have an envelope for an iPad Pro in here as well, because I really, really want an iPad Pro. Now the funny thing is, I have the money like in my bank account for an iPad Pro, right? I also have the money to move $1,000 to my emergency fund right now, if that's what I want to do. But again, my mind, my mind will not allow me to do it, because it's just like, wait, if you use that whole thousand, like, no, 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 no. So for me, it's I need to save it, or it needs to be extra. And the only way it can be extra for me is if I work for it and then move it and put it to the side. So even when I have rollover every month, like if I have, a starting balance in my account every month and it's like a rollover, it's like that's not what I'm budgeting from. I'm budgeting from what money comes in. Now, did she pull from the rollover for January? Yes. Listen, okay. Okay. Because life be happening. My income was less than what my expenses were. So did she have to pull from that? Absolutely. But what I'm saying is my your mind be minding your don't be minding my rollover business. Um Now, one of the things that I am trying to do, LaShonda, is I am trying to get to a zero-based budget. That's hard for me, though. There are people, though, like if you Google a zero-based budget, where they assign every single dollar that comes into their house or comes into their bank account, and they start with zero and then build from zero. I would love to get to a zero-based budget, but again, it's just something about seeing my bank account below a certain amount where I'm just like, I can't do it. I get nervous, I get scared, and I cannot do it. That's the other thing that I do have set. Now, I learned this. I learned this from, who did I learn this from? It's somebody I follow on Instagram, and she's a financial person. But to not set your zero base to zero, like your zero base should never be $0, right? Your zero base should be $100, and meaning if your bank account is below $100, then you've already hit zero. Does that make sense? So my zero base is $500. If my bank account is ever less than $500, then I don't have any money. I'm at zero. That's my zero base. My zero base is $500. And if my bank account is below 500, like if we go to 499, I have $0. That means that I am now operating in the negative if it goes below $500, because 500 is my new zero. Now it didn't start like that, honey. It used to be a couple of years ago, my zero balance was $50. It was like, oh, if we go below 50, we at zero. And then I worked myself up to 100, then to 300, and now it's at $500. So if I ever go below $500, then that means that I'm operating in the negative and I don't have any money. See, I want to get like y'all where I can be comfortable with a zero-based budget, but I'm just not there yet. I'm not there yet. Like I just cannot. Yeah. But that is the purpose. So my end goal by the end of the year should be that I am comfortable with a zero-based balance or a zero-based budget, because I do know where all my money is going, and I know exactly, like I feel comfortable saying, well, this amount goes to savings, or this amount goes to here, or this amount goes to here, and then we start at zero and start over again for the month. Not there yet, but that is the goal. So my end goal, the whole purpose of me doing this, one is like so I can just really, really, there are like two things that I don't want to say I struggle with, but that I just know that I do in excess, and it doesn't necessarily have to be done in excess. I do them in excess because, and that's not a good reason to do those things in excess. And so I really want to get a handle on those two things. And once I get a handle on those two things, then I can really focus on, okay, so we have a handle on those. Now let's focus on getting to this zero-based budget. But yeah, so that was the whole thing. Like when I went into the new year, I was like, okay, sweetheart, you doing too much. And I'm gonna need you to, really get a handle on this. Apply some discipline. I would say the first week did not, the first week in one of the areas went really, I would say went okay. I'm not even gonna say went really well. It went okay. In one of the areas, it did not. Like I blew the budget in the first week. So I was just like, oh. So I have to get to the root of why do I want to spend my money here? What is the purpose? What is the reason? And can you shut that down? Or can you really apply a budget? Because here's the thing, not even shut it down. Can I really apply a budgeted amount to it and stick to that budget? That is the goal, because I'm not going to take it out completely. Like some people are like, oh, you should just delete it. Oh, you shouldn't spend any money on. Like I said, I do not simply work to pay bills, even working for myself. I do not simply work to pay bills. I do work to enjoy some of the things that I enjoy doing. It is something that I enjoy doing. She not gonna stop doing it, but I do not need to do it in excess. That's moderation. Do all things in moderation. And so for me, it was just like, okay, this needs to slow down because you're doing too much. But it will not be deleted because, again, some people just, I hear people, oh, you should just cut up your credit cards. Don't use it. Baby, listen, if you know you're going to use that, can you pay the credit card? How about let's work on paying the credit card? You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not one of those people to tell you to deny yourself unless it's hurting you or somebody. Now, unless your lights is over there off and you spend, like, that's something different. That if you can't eat or, because she always going to have a good meal. What? What you mean I can't go down to there and eat? Y'all is crazy. She going, okay? Now, call me and say we going to eat. Baby, give me a few minutes. Let me put my clothes on. Okay? Because she eating. So ain't no need to tell me, oh, take going out to eat out your budget. Where? How? Huh? No. Boo, just tell me to stick to my going out to eat budget because she going out to eat. Okay? So because I know that, we're going to stick to it. And tell them again, look, we going. Okay? Me and the baby is coming. So I'm not taking that out my budget. It's just, can I stick to the amount that I've assigned to it? That's what I need to focus on. So it's not about me budgeting. It's not about me denying myself of anything or taking out any of the luxuries that I enjoy. Ain't it, Jennifer? Tell these people again. We got some good little... Jennifer be knowing. Going out to... Yes, is an experience. And don't mess around and find that good hole in the wall mom and pop girl. See, y'all got me thinking, oh, okay, let me focus. Let me focus because Jennifer got me thinking about going to eat. So yeah. Now here's the thing, Lashonda, because I did see your comment about the debt snowball effect. I only have one credit card. So the credit card is not a huge thing for me. One of my goals is to have that credit card paid off by February, because I only have like $158 balance due on the card. Again, it could just be paid off. One of my goals is to have it paid off by February. And so that is just the one credit card that I have. And so, yeah, I need to get that balance paid off because I'm just like, girl, why you got this $158 hanging over your head? Just pay them people. Like, just pay them people. Like, stop playing and pay the balance, okay? But I'm still making on-time payments with that. And I'm, again, proud of myself for that. Yeah, but not that much balance. Like it's irking me because the amount due on it is like $25 a month, and I just paid $25 and be thinking I'm doing. Girl, stop. And it's not necessarily that I want to get it to zero, but I wanted to get it under the 150. Like it just needs to be like $30 up there or something like that, and then I feel okay. So the one credit card, these student loans. What's the saying about these student loans? I forgave myself on them loans. College Foundation of North Carolina, you might get your money and you might not. I've forgiven myself for them loans. Okay. I don't know if Joe gonna forgive me, who else gonna forgive me for them, but I forgave myself. And so listen, I don't know if I want to pay them. I'm just being completely honest. Hey, I don't know if I want to pay them. I'm still debating on that. I'm so excited that they extended the the more, what is it, the that we don't have to pay them the debt forgiveness or whatever um until May, gave me some more time to think about it, because baby, they was emailing me out the wazoo about setting up that automatic payment um back in like December. They was like, your payment is almost due. Get ready to make your payment. And I was like, is it really though? Is it really almost due? Because no. And then Joe came through for a sister one more time and was like, baby, we're gonna give you to May. We're gonna give you a little bit more time to think about it. So I'm still thinking about it. Like I said, I forgave myself. I, you know, I just don't know. But that would be my second largest. No, that is my largest debt, not my second largest, because I don't have anything else. So yeah, again, full transparency. I do not have a car payment. So if you're watching this and you're wondering, well, how do you run your business full time? How do you run a crochet business full time? First thing I would tell you is it's not because I sell my crochet full time. I get this a lot. I get a lot of people asking me, well, how can I do this full time? How can I sell my crochet work full time and make a full time income? I am not going to tell you that you can't do it. It's one or two ways that you can sell your crochet work and make a full-time income. You are either going to have to be a luxury brand. And when I say luxury, I'm talking about 500, 600, $1,000 pieces. Or you are going to have to figure out how to make something really, really quick and sell a whole lot of it at a low price to a whole lot of people. I'm not going to tell you that you can't do either one. I'm going to tell you that it is difficult to do either one. Because if you decide to do the make something really quick and try to sell it to a whole bunch of people, then you're going to burn yourself out, because you are constantly going to be making, because you're going to literally have to sell hundreds of pieces. Like, I don't know what your lifestyle is. I know what mine is. I live in rural North Carolina. I've sacrificed and cut out expenses every way that I can, but I still need approximately between $3,000 and $5,000 a month to live here in rural North Carolina. That's not a lot of money here in rural North Carolina. It's not a lot of money. And so, I should say you get a lot for that here in rural North Carolina. But if I still lived in Maryland or Virginia, like in the DC area where I moved from, I'm gonna go ahead and tell the truth. I would still be working a regular job, because there's no way. There's no way. There's no way. Like, I am in awe of my friend Aniqua, who lives in expensive ass New York and does this full time. But she will tell you, no, she won't tell you, because I had to tell her. Like, I had to beat her upside her head and tell her, baby, if you want to continue to do this in New York, there's no way that you're going to be able to do this simply by making things and selling them. There's just no way. It's not going to happen unless you decide to be like a luxury brand and your dolls is like $3,000, $4,000 a doll. Because I know what her expenses are to live in New York. Baby, I could never. And so the reason I'm able to do this full time, even here in North Carolina, is that there are different segments to my business. So in addition to selling my finished crochet work, I do also sell patterns. I do also sell classes and courses. I have affiliate income that comes in. And then I do other things that has nothing to do with crochet to supplement my income. And so that is how I make this work for me. Again, I don't like to tell nobody that you can't do something. I'm not going to tell you that you can't do it. So when you ask me that question, well, can I make a full-time income selling my work? I just told you how. You either going to have to be super luxury brand, or you're going to have to find something that you can make a lot of and sell it to a lot of people for a affordable price. And then you run into the problem of finding people to buy it. Because when I say a lot of people, again, if you're trying to make $3,000 a month, that's the low end. And selling something that's $10 a piece, how many of them $10 things do you have to make? And that's not including buying yarn and all the other expenses that come with it. So again, you're going to have to supplement your income doing something else in the crochet realm. You can start a YouTube channel and be paid from YouTube. You can start you can do affiliate income. There are other ways to supplement your income. You can offer patterns. Pattern sales have been my lifesaver this whole pandemic. I'm gonna just go ahead and tell the truth. If it was not for the fact that I had patterns, again, I don't know how this would work. In fact, there was a point in time when I tried to go back to the regular workforce. Listen, she had went and found her a work from home job, right? Thinking, I'm gonna work from home. I should be able to work from home and do this business too. Honey, ask me how long did that last? Because one, I'm unemployable at this point. You don't get to tell me what time I get to go to lunch, what time I get to go to the bathroom. Like once you have experience being on your own time, it's really hard to be on somebody else's clock. So that was number one for me. The moment they told me, oh, your break is at this time, who break? Boo, I go to the bathroom when I feel like it. So yeah, it was a no for me from the jump. But I tried it because I was just like, because I understand it. It was like, it's easy, again, to have that, to know that you're going to get paid this set amount of money if you work these set amount of hours every week or every 2 weeks or how often you get paid, that can be the enticement. Like, listen, again, we got bills to pay, we got to eat, we got kids to take care of. And so I would never be I'm never somebody to tell somebody else, oh, you should quit your job and follow your passion and your dream. Baby, I don't live in your house, so I'm not going to tell you that. I live over here. I know what I can do. And so that's the other part of it too. For me, I could not allow somebody else to dictate how much my time was worth. Yes, if I work these set amount of hours, you're telling me that I'm guaranteed to get this certain paycheck every week. But the problem with that is when I'm looking at the paycheck, I just gave you 8 hours of my day for $300 or $400 or how much paycheck is. Or I come over here and spend this amount of time. Now, the joke is, when you work for yourself, you work 24 hours. But those 24 hours are doing the things that I want to do, how I want to do them, when I want to do them. And I get to dictate what the price is. Because that's the other thing. When people be like, oh, well, how do you price this? Or what, people don't want to pay your price. Then, then the wrong people. You're not talking to the right people, because I am the only person that gets to dictate to me or tell me what this costs. That little chant that they got going around, it costs this much because I spend so much time. No, it costs this much because I said so. Point blank, period. End of story. There's no other explanation needed. It costs this much because I said so. The end. Period. No other. I don't need to tell you how much the yarn costs. I don't need to tell you how much time I spent on it. I don't need to tell you. Either you see the value or you don't. And if you don't, you're not my people. And I'm okay with that. I'm not mad at you. I'm not upset. I'm not about to go back and forth with you. It costs this much because I said so. The end. The end. So I say all that to say that even me trying to go back to the regular workforce did not work for me. But that is not to say that it will not work for you, or for some. You do what you need to do. So, but it just didn't work for me. It was just like, girl, you cannot. I'm gonna need you not. So I had to send them people their computer and stuff back, and I was like, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the opportunity, but it's a no. It's a no for me. It's a no. And so she, again, back to figuring this out. And the funny thing about it is, or not even a funny thing, even working for them from home, I still made more money in my business than the paycheck that they gave me. I gave them 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. I still made more money paying myself than what they did. And so I was just like, okay. So I'm here because of the guaranteed paycheck. Because the other part of this is being self-employed and trying to budget on a self-employed income. My income varies. Like I said, I can sit here and guesstimate what my income is going to be for the week or for the month. But there's no way that I know that that's what it's going to be until that's what it is. And so, I tell people, because that's the other thing, people are just like, well, I need to make this much money. And one of the things I always say to people, especially like, because I've had people when, before the pandemic, when people were doing like live events and things like that, they were like, well, how do I know that a show is worth it? Or how much product should I take to the show? And my answer to that is always, well, how much money do you want to make? So if you go into a live event and you telling yourself, well, I need to walk out of here making $1,000, but you only take $50 worth of product, where are you getting $1,000 from? Like, where's your $1,000 coming from? And you only took $50 worth of product. This applies even if it's not a live event. If you're telling yourself, I need to make $3,000 a month, but you making hats that cost $10, can you really make that many hats in a month to make $3,000? Like, I'm like, the math ain't mathing. this not adding up. And so I tell people all the time, baby, I need you to go back to your number. Like, did you do some math? Did you do some math? Always do math first. Always do math first. Do that part first. And it's crazy that's coming from me, because now we talking about math in terms of a budget. We ain't talking about no math in terms of your crochet project, because she don't do no math there. Now, if you want the math to add up when you doing them stitches, that's a no for me. That math don't be mathing. But this budget math, I need that to be mathing. So when you are sitting down and you're telling yourself that you want to make a certain amount of money, I need you to really think about, can you create, like, what does that look like? So for me, again, when I say, yeah, the math, Alonda, it don't be like, I be like, huh? That math is not, it ain't mathing. Like, where you get that math from? No, you want $1,000, but you got $50 worth of product. I'm not understanding. So when, again, that's a free 99 tip for you right there on this Tip Tuesday. If you are trying to make a certain amount of money each month, if you're telling yourself you need a certain amount of money in your business each month, then you do need to determine, where is that money coming from? What am I creating? Or am I able to create enough product to generate that type of income? That's where you start. And then from there, then you go on to your marketing and finding your target audience and finding people who are willing to pay your price. But first, you got to make sure that you can create that product, because I would hate for you to be out here and then you get in the middle of it and it's just like, oh no, I can't do that. Oh, I didn't realize I was going to have to create this much. Oh, I'm not able to handle that much work. Well, then where did you think the money was coming from if you're not able to do that? And so for me, it becomes, then you need to create different streams of income, because this stream is going to create this amount of money. This stream is going to create this amount of money. You got another stream over here that's bringing in this amount of money. So then when I start to do the math be mathing. Oh, that's like, it all adds up in the end. And sometimes one stream that I thought was going to bring in a certain amount brings in less or more. And then I got to make sure that another stream makes up for it. So it's like, oh, well, I need to do a little bit more over here because this didn't do what I needed to do over here this month or this week. Because that's the other thing. Now, I have a monthly budget. I know what I need every month. But again, because of how my mind works, I work well with smaller amounts of money, or smaller, like, just for me, it just works better when I can break it down. So if I say I need $3,000 a month, it works better for me to break out my calculator and be like, ooh, what that 3,000 breakdown look like? If I'm saying I need $3,000 a month, then what does that look like in terms of, what I need to bring in every week? And then it becomes, well, what do I need to bring in every day? So if we doing the 3,000, let's say January got 31 days, and we doing, yeah, she broke out her calculator because, again, Right, Angela. You always got to do that part too. And then of course my calculator don't want to show the amount. But I'm looking at, okay, if I got 31 days and I need to bring in $3,000, how much is that a day? Like, is that $100 a day for me? $200 a day for me? $300 a day for me? What does that look like for you? And see, when I break it down, it's like the 3,000 doesn't look so big. It doesn't look so like a huge chunk. Like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna make $3,000 this month? I can make $200 a week. I can make $400 a week. I can make $500 a week. And if I break into 500, I can make $100 a day. Can I make $100 a day? I can make $100 a day, right? I can. What can I do to make $100 a day? I can do that. That doesn't seem as big as my $3,000 or 4,000 or five or however much you need to, maintain your lifestyle, whatever that looks like for you. The same thing with saving money. One of the budget or saving challenges that I've created for myself, because I've seen these 52-week challenges, I've seen this save $10,000 in 30 days, save $20,000. Listen, for me, baby, I'm not pulling no envelope that's gonna tell me I got to put 100 and something, $100+ in this envelope for the day. It's not going to, I know me. I'm not putting $100+ in that envelope. So that's a no for me. So I had to modify the challenge to work for me. So my savings challenge looks like I have an envelope for every day of the month. My envelope for January is 1 through 31. I pull an envelope every day. I know that the envelope is never going to be more than $31. I got $31. I can come up with $31. Come up with $31. And so for me, it was just like, no, this works better for me because I know that I can come up with $31. That's not going to be an issue for me to come up with this $31. So even if I pull the highest envelope, which is going to be the $31, I can put $31 in the envelope and be okay. But when I look at those saving challenges where they like pick an envelope every day and one of the envelopes might be $160, $120, who about to put, I'm glad that you can do that. I know me and I'm not doing it. Cause baby, let me tell you, and let me just, I might put it in there. I promise you by the end of the week, she gonna take it out. Pooh. Oh yeah, I got the envelope with $150 in it. Let me go get this $150 envelope. Because no, I'm just not there yet. And so you have to start where you are. And don't be overwhelmed by some of these things that you see online, some of these people that you see online. And because I think that's what happens to people. People see other people doing stuff and they want to be there. They come out the gate like, boo, I'm gonna be that. I want to do what she doing. And you, first of all, you don't know what she had to do that. That's number one. That's number one. You don't know what the person is doing and what sacrifices they're willing to make to do that. But two, who said that that's where you had to start? Like, who said that you had to start there? Because I'm not going to say that I will never be able to pull a $150 envelope and put the $150 in there and be okay with it. What I'm saying is the Yolanda that I am today ain't pulling no $150 envelope and putting $150 nowhere and leaving it there until the end of the year. Not this Yolanda. But this Yolanda can take a envelope that has $31 on it and put the $31 in there and leave the $31 in there until the end of the year. She can pull a $2 envelope and put $2 in there and leave the $2 in there until the end of the year. On and on and on and on. And so my savings challenge is every month, she just taking whatever the envelope, however many days it is in the month, that's how many envelopes I have, and that's what I'm putting in the envelope because I should be able to have at least $1, $2, $3, $31 for the day. But listen, even if you're not there yet, baby, maybe you got $5. Maybe all you can do is $1 a day. Maybe all you can say is, listen, I'm going to do the 31 days, the 28 days, the 30 days, however many days is in the month, and all I got is $1. I'm going to put your dollar in the envelope. And at the end of the year, be proud of yourself for saving your dollars. Like, I don't get this whole, if it ain't the 20,000, if it ain't the 50,000, if it ain't $1 million, I can't celebrate. Girl, please, we celebrating that she saved her $5, okay? We celebrating that she put her $5 in the envelope, because that's where I am. And I'm proud of that, and I'm happy for that. And so I'm not trying to compete with anybody else but me. I ain't trying to be you. I want to be a better me. And so my only competition is always going to be me. Can Yolanda be a better Yolanda than Yolanda was yesterday? That's all that matters to me. And if I ever get to the point, if I ever get there where I'm comfortable with putting $150 in the envelope, guess who will come up here and tell y'all, girl, she put that 150 in there and didn't take it out. It didn't take it out. Okay. Because that's the important part. That's the part people don't be telling you. Did you put the money in there and not take it out? Okay? Because, yeah, some of these people be capping for the gram. They be capping for Facebook. And they pulling them envelopes and they showing you, yes, girl, look, I'm pulling my envelope today. Look for them on December 31st. Ask them to go get them envelopes. Is your money still? And here's the thing, I ain't checking for nobody. Because whether you put it in there and took it out, listen, be proud that you put it in there. And if you had to take it out, you had to take it out. Life happens. If you had to take it out, that's what happened. But what I'm telling you is, don't be up here trying to shame other people because all they put in their envelope was $1. Baby, I'm proud of you for putting your dollar in the envelope. If you need permission to do the envelope challenge and just do $1, Yolanda just gave you permission to do the envelope challenge and just do $1. 50 cents, honey. Listen, right now, my eating out envelope got 60 cents in it. We got 60 cents. And it's going to stay there too. Because you never know when I might need this 60 cents. I don't know what I'm getting, but it's got 60 cents. That's the other thing too. Y'all don't be looking at my envelopes and being like, did she just write on the envelope? Because I know y'all been seeing the people with the real fancy envelopes that they done decorated with their Cricut. And yes, I got a whole Cricut in there and could decorate my envelopes. But again, starting where you are, baby, she took that marker and she put up there eating out. Because I didn't have time to go in there printing stuff out on the Cricut, okay? She didn't have to. Hey, don't be mad at my 60 cent, girl. I got 60 cent in my eating out. Don't be mad. I got food at home. Ain't that what they be saying? You got food at home. Eat at the house because you got food at home. Okay? But she got 60 cent in eating out envelope. Anyway, I stuffed that envelope tomorrow. So it'll be some money. It'll be some money in there tomorrow because it gets stuffed tomorrow. Okay. But yes, so that's it, y'all. That's my budget. That's how I am budgeting my self-employed income for 2022. If you are watching this and you was expecting like this real fancy, oh my gosh, this is my budget and let's budget together. Let me introduce myself. My name is Yolanda, and she don't do that. Like, I'm so sorry. My name is Yolanda, and you don't do that. I've seen them. Now, here's the thing. I watch those videos, and they're really nice. And that is not to say that I will never do it. I might come up here one day, and we'll budget together. We'll look at my income, and we'll be like, oh, this is how much money we made, and do a budget together. But for right now, I just wanted to come and share that this is one of my focuses for 2022. And again, like I said, it was more for accountability for me to stick to it because, she be distracted real easy. And so I'll be checking back in with y'all, just letting y'all know how things are going. And we'll see what happens. We'll see, because I'm sure, like I said, we'll be celebrating in February when I pay this credit card off because, like I said, it is getting paid off by February. and we'll be celebrating when she gets her emergency fund back to $1,000. I think right now it's at 368, and I got how much money I got. And see, my emergency fund envelope got some money in it. Now, see, I could easily take this money and let it be my eating out money, but growth let me leave this in the emergency fund envelope. That's growth right there. Okay, so I think my emergency fund has like 358, and then I have $60 in here. So 358 plus 60 is currently where my emergency fund is, and the goal is to get it to $1,000. I probably should put a date on that, right? Should I put a date on it? Currently, I don't have a date to when I want to get it to $1,000. It's just I need to get it back to $1,000. Girl, says who? Says who? By who rules is eating out not an emergency? Cause just saying. No, it is not. It is not an emergency. The money will stay there. The plan is like, so every time I get to $100, then I'll actually make a deposit into the account that I keep my emergency fund in. So every $100, I'll make a deposit. So right now we got 60, so I need 40 more dollars, and then I can go make a deposit into the emergency fund, and we'll keep going that way. The iPad envelope doesn't have anything in it right now because it's empty. My iPad Pro envelope is empty, but that's because I don't feel like it's responsible, and maybe y'all can give me some different direction on this, to put money aside for the iPad Pro before I have my emergency fund built back up, right? So yeah, I'm just like, because it's like, oh, I want the iPad Pro and I want them to add money for the iPad Pro, but I just didn't feel like it was responsible to put money aside for the iPad Pro without my emergency fund being built back up. So I said, once the emergency fund is back to the $1,000, then I will take the money, or part of the money, not all of it. I will take part of the money and put it towards the iPad Pro. So I got the binder from Hobby Lobby. So the binder came from Hobby Lobby. The envelopes came off of Amazon. The envelopes actually, I got this one off of Amazon, and I can put the link in here when I end this. I got this one off of Amazon, and it came with the envelopes in it. So, and I didn't need all the envelopes because this is the binder that, like I said, this is my purse binder. Actually, I almost carry this like a purse because I actually got my cards already in here. See, I got this, and that's the other thing. Like when people give me gift cards and stuff like that, I put my gift cards in there too, so I can use my gift cards. But I almost carry this like a purse, but it goes in my purse sometimes. But sometimes I just take this into the store. But I got this off of Amazon, and it came with the envelopes already in there. And then I got this from Hobby Lobby, and I just took some of those envelopes out of here and put in this one. So yeah. I saw y'all messages about just getting the iPad Pro. No, I do not have an iPad Pro. I have an iPad mini that's broken. And then I have an iPhone. So I do not have a working iPad at all at the moment, which is instead of instead of doing another iPad mini or a different, I just want to get the best one, which is the iPad Pro. When I get it, I saw y'all messages about, is it gonna yield money for my business? Yes, short answer to the question is yes. It would definitely be a business investment. And I will write it off as a business expense. Um, Clearly some personal use too, but definitely more business than personal. The other part of it though, like I said in the beginning, if you were here at the beginning of this video, the other part of it for me is spending all that money at one time. I'm just like, what? Ooh, that's just a lot of money. I don't want to. So mentally, my mind is just like, girl, where, how, who? Hmm, I think not. But I do know that I want one. And so it will be purchased. It's just me getting out of my own head. Yeah, yeah. And I know. Yeah, mine would be too. It would definitely be more business than personal because yeah. I pretty almost use my iPhone for everything right now. And so yeah, like you said, it would switch to the iPad Pro would then be used for everything. And there's some other apps and things that I can only get with the iPad Pro. Or no, I shouldn't say the iPad Pro, with an iPad. Um and then like being able to use the iPad pencil and things like that. And so yeah. Uh yeah, exactly. So, Anika, I know exactly what you're talking about. So, yeah, how you feel about the cell phone is how I feel about the iPad Pro. Like, and that's the other thing because it's like, well, you have an iPhone 12. Do you really need an iPad Pro? But I really need an iPad Pro. Anyway, that's it, you guys. I just wanted to share with you how I'm budgeting my self-employed income. Like I said, I may definitely check back in with you guys to give you a more in-depth look at it. Probably not this week. We'll do that next week because the first week in January was kind of a bust, and I don't want to admit that this was really how I spend money. I don't believe this. I don't believe it. The one I want is about for everything that I want with the one I want. It's gonna cost me about $1,200 for the one I want because I want the pencil. I want the keypad. It's gonna run me around $1,300. Yeah. So yeah. So this will be a weekly thing. If you're wondering why didn't I do this on Instagram or Facebook, so again, full transparency. Um, she is trying to get her YouTube monetized again. So at one point in time, my YouTube was monetized, and then YouTube changed the requirements for monetization, and I no longer met the requirement in regards to watch hours for my YouTube to be monetized. So they took away and that was a nice little like $150 a month that I got from YouTube, and they took that away. And so in an effort to have my YouTube monetized again, well, she got to be over here on YouTube because I want my monies back. And I want to not only want my money back, but provide good content as well. Like YouTube used to be a great, like a fun place for me. And now that they have this live feature, I figured, hey, just use YouTube live because this counts towards my watch hours. Being fully transparent and just telling y'all the truth. I also wanted to share content. I would have shared it anyway, but now, what is it? Two birds, one stone? That. That's what's happening over here. Two birds, one stone, although I ain't in agreement with, killing the birds. But two birds, one stone. So that is why I'm over here on YouTube. This is where my lives will be from now on, over here on YouTube, until I am monetized again. And then we might go back to some recorded video, or we might just stay live. I don't know. We'll see. But thank you guys for joining who did join. I appreciate it. If you're watching this on replay, thank you for watching. If you have questions, comments, anything like that, feel free to leave them and I will answer you as soon as I can. I cannot believe that my son napped for an entire hour. Thank you, Jesus. The Lord heard my prayers. So I appreciate that, but I'm sure he's about to wake up like, girl, I gave you your hour. Go on about your business now. So let me go get him. I'm sure y'all will meet him on one of these lives eventually because this is not normal for him. So yeah, thank you again for joining. I know this is a crochet My Pretty Brown Doll, and so if you are looking for crochet doll content, that is coming as well. But I also like to share the business side of this because I do get a lot of questions about how this works as a business. So I like to share that as well. Know that I'm fully transparent about mine. I'm not out here about to sell you no pipe dreams, boo. This is hard work. It takes hard work to make this work, but I wouldn't want to be doing anything else. Like, I truly, truly, truly enjoy doing this. And so, on that note, y'all enjoy the rest of, there is no schedule. It is what is Jordan's schedule. And so, I will try to, I think Tuesdays work. So, I'm going to try to keep it on Tuesday. And we're just going to have to work around his nap time. This is normally his nap time, but normally he does not stay asleep this long. So Tuesdays, lunchtime-ish. That's the best I can give you right now. All right, y'all enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and I will hopefully see you next Tuesday.